Hey guys, welcome back to SEADOGS Can Fly. This is episode 43 and the season has reached fever pitch. We're top of the table after 27 games on 67 points. Couple of games in hand over Tottenham, who are 4 points behind, but we've got a very tough end to the season, which you're going to see shortly, and today we've got 3 livecom games for you. The first is a League Cup final at Wembley against Wolverhampton Wanderers. We haven't won that competition yet, so a big game for us. I'm going to throw everything at it before we go through the Bournemouth game off camera. Then I want to play Chelsea at home because that's a real big title decider for us so early on in the season. And then Borussia Monchengladbach, a massive Champions League second leg, and you're going to see just why the game is so close. Before we jump into the episode itself, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button if you haven't done so already. That way you get to see all the episodes and guides as and when they go live. And if you enjoy this one, give us a thumbs up. Massively does help the channel. Right, let's roll the intro.
12 years in that division and they're out.
So last episode we left off by losing to Manchester City at home 1-0. A little bit frustrated by the result, but we bounced back against Fulham, winning that one off camera 4-2. We went behind to a Paulo goal to start with before Alvarado scored an absolute blinder, one hell of a run. Philippe Tezar also managed a goal. Elias Belkayat has really developed nicely this season. He got on the score sheet as well, as did Georges Grasso before we conceded a consolation goal towards the end of the match. Well-deserved victory there. We followed that up in the FA Cup against Chelsea in the 4th round. I thought we would leave this competition at this stage. However, the lads shocked me. We won this one 3-0. Yusuga scoring the most amazing solo goal on the 4th minute. He backed that up on the 21st minute with another cracking little run and goal before Modiba pulled one out of the top drawer, hitting the bottom corner. 3-0 against Chelsea. In the FA Cup, they had a full-strength team. And if you have a look at the match stats, we deserve this. We had 3 clear-cut chances, 4 half chances. Chelsea didn't have a chance. We then drew 1-1 against Brighton in the League Cup semi-final, which sent us through to the next round. That was a weekend 11 we played. Wolves were beaten 3-1 at home. Stevens, Silveira and Tezar getting on the score sheet. Very easy victory. Before Stoke were beaten 2-0 away from home. Monroe getting a couple of goals there, a brace. Again, match stats tell everything. 7 clear-cut chances. This keeps happening game in, game out. My biggest concern is Stevens has been on a bit of a rot. You have a look at his form. He hasn't scored in the last 4 games. And prior to scoring against Wolves, he hasn't scored in, 5 or 6 games? Before this, he was on absolute fire. It won't let me go down. There we go. See all those goals he's scoring there? And then dried up completely. So I'm a bit concerned about that. We might have to think about switching Joey Stevens out of his role and possibly bringing someone else in. But that game was then followed up by the most sensational Champions League night against Borussia Monchengladbach. This game finished 4-3, but it does not tell the full story. We started with a Lucas Silveira goal on the 13th minute. All seemed rosy, but then Bretas hit us on the counter-attack and scored, as well as Rosa on the 32nd minute. I thought, okay, second half, we can maybe get back into this. But Mbolo shocked us on the 49th minute, only 4 minutes into the second half, to make it 3-1 to Monchengladbach. Then this happened. Meyer picking up the ball, passing to Alvarado, who switched it in for Meyer, the new work permit signing. We've had him in the club for a couple of seasons. He went and scored a second with the penalty. It was 3-3. I was happy to take that, but on the 61st minute, Yusuga crossed beautifully for Silveira to wrap up the victory away from home. Massive result there. We really struggled against this 4-4-2 system. Despite them only having 6 shots on target, every time they went forward, it felt like they found holes and gaps in our tactic. But we came away victors. That sets up nicely for the last livecom game of today. And before we jump onto that, I just want to show you the Leeds United game as well, because we won this one 3-0. Now, Yusuga's first goal was bloody brilliant. Solo goal, solo run, fantastic. He has been amazing all season long. Mariba followed it up with a great finish as well. And then Yusuga yet again cutting back onto his left foot with a sensational cross for Agasea to score with his head. We had 21 shots, 12 on target in that match. Leeds only had 2 shots on target all game, and we had 3 half chances. Now, I'm really concerned, like I said, about the form of Stevens. I've been playing around with the team a little bit, and Belkayat's not that much better in the advanced forward role either of late. So we're going to find out today exactly which striker is going to be preferred going into the end of the season. Away from home against Aston Villa was the last game. We're not going to look at the goals, but we drew this 1-1. They only had 4 shots on target, but they scored in the 76th minute. These 2 DMCs were a freaking pain in the arse. We could not break them down. But the most annoying bit, again, Stevens, a 6.3 average rating, and we had 4 clear-cut chances. Almost all of them fell to Stevens, and he could not convert. Almost all of his 19 goals, bar a couple of them, came within the first maybe month to 2 months of the switching system. So I'm hoping he's not dried up, but we're going to have to see what happens in today's games. The first of which is against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the League Cup final. Now, we've beaten Wolves 4 times before. They've never beaten us. We've never drawn against them, so we are massive favourites. They've got a number of injury issues. We've only got Pisani out with his broken foot, which is a bit of a downer, but we've got plenty of replacements. My concern is this tactic. They're playing 2 DMCs again, Jordan Henderson and Jorginho, very experienced, with Bellingham just in behind Solanke up front. We should win this game, but I'm just concerned that they've got a lot packed out in that defensive area. They're playing a cautious mentality and a gegenpress as well with the front 4, so it could be another Aston Villa type of game. And with that in mind, you may think I want to switch system up, but no. Decoys work so well for us since we switched over, and while sometimes, yes, we do get caught out against teams like this that play quite deep, play those DMCs, we do also sometimes come up and thrash them if we get an early goal. So that's what we're going to go for. I've told the lads this is a big game. They've responded really well. We're going to go with Yusuga on the right wing, cutting inside, despite playing the winger role. That's what he does because it's within his traits. Argasea the same. Both of them seem to work quite well together, nice little partnership. Silvera's got to play the AMC role with Monroe and Stevens up top. These 2 are our talisman. Monroe tends to pick up the pieces when Stevens isn't playing so well, so hopefully that works well. Madiba's going to be playing in the deep line playmaker role. I was tempted to play Meyer and maybe have Lemur in the deep line playmaker role because he is a real creator. But I think these 2 work really well together. And the back line is as strong as it gets with Brignoni, Stelico and Male, who is a makeshift left-back playing centre-back. But I really like his speed, and I think that could be necessary if they're going to be playing balls in behind. This is going to be a massive game. I honestly think it could come down to substitutes and team talks at half-time. So we're going to have to be sharp and on the top of our wits with that one. Like I say, you can see how clustered they are at the back there. That's going to be the biggest issue we need to overcome. I'm going to tell the lads to prove a point because that team talk's done quite well for us so far this season. And let's just hope we can get a really good early start. First highlight falls to Scarborough. It's a long throw from Yusuga. Easily dealt with by Johnny, but Mariba picks up the pieces and he can shoot from the range. Yusuga again, Stevens. Stevens. Misses yet again. Another golden opportunity. And then that's over from the corner. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, Stevens is going to be probably the Achilles foot for us, I think, this season if we're not careful. I'm maybe going to have to start thinking about trying palm out, but then again you need speed in behind with this system because as you're about to see, that ball over the top is very prominent. Yes, get in! Tell you what, we do this all the time. Players must listen to what I say and respond because Joey Stevens scores just after we were questioning his ability to be able to finish. Brilliantly chested down, he still had it all to do. And that's pretty bad goalkeeping, but we will take that 1-0. Come on, SEADOGS. Starico, back to Bazuna. We're seeing an example of that passing game again. Goes out wide, dropping deep Argasea, who passes into Mariba to Yusuga. Yusuga cutting inside to Stevens. And Stevens says, I don't know what you're talking about, boss. You have no clue what you're talking about. 21st goal of the season. I'm not out of form, mate. I was just having a breather. 2-0 up. We've had 5 shots, 4 of which have been on target, a clear-cut chance, and finally we managed to overcome those 2 DMCs. I can't see Wolves getting back in this game now. This scoreline could be anything by the time the game's finished. As Argasea finds Monroe, and that is a good save by Muzo, but really Monroe fluffed that one. Brignone to Moriba. Moriba out wide to Argesea, the Romanian. Good tackle there by Matteson. But Argesea's pressing well, and we're really penning them in. It's working quite well. Mallet, the centre-back. Infield to Lemur. Silveira over the top, but can't find Yusugu. Short on his pass, and Wolves have the opportunity in behind here. Solanke gets his first chance. Great save by the goalkeeper. Well done, Bazunu. Matteson, good tackle by Argesea. He's a hard-working winger, so it works well within this system. And that is a beauty of a pass to Stevens for his hat-trick in the first half. What are you talking about, Gaffer? I'm perfectly fine. 3-0. Look at this for a pass from Moriba. He just picks it up first time on the volley. Precision pass to Stevens, and the decision to play him in the deep line playmaker role has paid off. Well, this is probably the easiest cup final we're going to get. Joey Stevens putting my doubts to rest, so at least we know he's going to be a big game player for us, because he has really turned up today. And if we're going to half time at 3-0, we can probably even think about resting a few players. Although there's only a couple of games for the FA Cup game, which you're not going to be watching. We're going to do that one off camera, so I'll take the opportunity, I think, to rest the players during that game. I've actually gone to do the changes now because the wingers get very tired in this system. They have to work so hard shuffling backwards and forwards. So Grasso and Alvarado come on either side, and I've decided to give Stevens his standing ovation at Wembley after getting 3 goals. Johan David comes on in that striking role as he advanced forward. He's a quick 17-year-old pacey Frenchman, so he's playing for my national team as well, which is going quite well, by the way. We'll maybe look at that towards the end of the episode, and let's see if he can maybe get on the score sheet in his first ever cup final for the club. But Ronnie Lopez sends one in, and that could be a penalty. Is it? Yes, it is. Wolves have a penalty, a chance to get back in the game. Jorginho scores. 3-1. Okay, let's just hope that's a consolation goal. There is 20 minutes left in the game though, so this could be a bit nervy. Wolves have another set piece, literally minutes after scoring the penalty, and it's 3-2. William Saliba makes it 3-2 for Wolves. What are you doing, guys? Demand more. Okay, this is really, really nervy now. We've literally got, what, 6 or 7 minutes left. Wolves are playing out from the back. Hope they don't find that ball over the top. McNeil down the wing. Grasso works his arse off to get back, but oh my god, we fucked it up. Get the ball back. Oh, I don't believe it. Offside. Fucking hell. Right. Going to go on to cautious. We're going to waste loads of time. And I'm going to tell the lads not to prevent the goalkeeper's short kicks. I want to keep players back. We're going to regroup and hold our shape. I'm also going to put the wingers onto a support role so that we have more bodies back. Let's hope we can see this game out. I can't believe we were 3-0 up. We made those substitutions and now we are hanging on by a thread. Mallet to Alvarado. Alvarado to Moriba, Lemur, Silveira, to David. He's in behind. Go on, lad. Hack. Youngster misses. Come on, waste time. We've got a throw in, and instead of wasting time, I think Grasso's going to go long here. I hope that we don't get countered from it, because that would piss me off. But it's out for another throw in, and the clock ticks down. We've got literally 2 minutes to hang on here. Come on, lads. We've made it hard work, but we still deserve the victory. Come on. Get in there. League Cup final 1, not the way I'd have liked it to happen. I would have liked to have actually just had that game wrapped up and not worry about it. Wolves did really well to come back into it, but we let ourselves down a little bit. Munro was shocking. He missed a fair few chances towards the end. 5.7 average rating there. But it's good to see that Stevens was playing well. The wingers played a massive part as well. Yusuga, 2 assists yet again. And now I'm going to jump forward into that Bournemouth game. I've got a day break. We're going to rest everybody for this game. So you're going to see the highlights in a second. Then we've got Chelsea. Massive game for the title. Well, that FA Cup 5th round did not really go to plan. We rested almost the entire side. Definitely a weakened 11, and we almost paid for it. Bournemouth shocked me in that game, to be honest. They took it to extra time. We did win it 5-3 in the end. but the balls in behind were an absolute nightmare to deal with. We opened the scoring from an Elliot cross to Zelenkov's, but Zelenkov's was probably the downfall of our team really, not picking up Crusher here. And he did the same again, but before that we managed to get back into the game with an Alvarado wonder strike into the top corner. This is the other goal, in behind again, Zelenkov's not picking up Crusher. After that I told him to man mark the striker and things improved slightly. We got back into the game again. Grasso got 2 assists in this match. Tezar also scored with 2 headers, which was nice to see. But Bournemouth kept bouncing back. This goal here made it 3-3. Unas, who actually went and missed one on the 85th minute, I think, which would have sent them through. But extra time came a calling. Grasso stepped up to the plate. Again, across to Tezar, who's actually really tall, great jumping reach, so he had something different to that AMC role. That gave us the lead before Stevens came on off the bench to score the 5th, which sent us through victors. We're through to the quarter-final where we will play Tottenham very shortly. But it's all about today's game now. We're against Chelsea. We're at home. We are favourites. But I'm a little bit concerned about Chelsea's tactic. The scouts reckon they're going to play a 4-2-2-2 with 2 wingers quite close to the full-back. So this is going to be really difficult to break down. Quite a cautious system for them. And they've got some massive quality. Faber up front, the advanced forward. He's been fantastic for me for France. Really fast in behind. Martinez is a fucker to deal with, to be honest. He's 29 now, so reaching his prime. Everton on the left side. Zaniolo on the right. It's going to be a massive game, this. We need to be winning because, as you've seen already in the Premier League, we may be top with 2 games in hand, but we're only 4 points above Tottenham with a host of teams all in behind us, hoping to pounce on a mistake. I'm having to play Grasso on the right instead of Usuga, even though he's more tired because Usuga's not going to be available for the Champions League game against Borussia Monchengladbach, which is only in a few days' time. So I'm going to have to be exceptionally careful here over which players get tired and make sure that we're definitely covered. Because the last thing that I want to happen is get an injury or massive amount of fatigue that we can't deal with, which leads to a loss in the Monchengladbach game, because that game is so finely balanced. The Champions League game is actually 4-3. Now, and I can't believe that went in. That is just ridiculous match engine mechanics from Football Manager. 9th goal of the season for Christian Palm. Grasso gets another assist, but you can't really give him that. That needs to go down as a howler from the goalkeeper. We'll take it though, 1-0 up inside of 4 minutes. What I was saying about the Champions League is it's 4-3 in the first leg. We were away from home, so we've got the 4 away goals, but Monchengladbach, if they sit back and hit us on the counter and get an early goal, that could really turn the tide of the game. So we need to make sure that we go out, get that game done early on, and just like we're doing against Chelsea here. Joey Stevens again proves me wrong that he's not hit a bad patch of form. It was only a little blip. Silveira with a fantastic little assist. And Chelsea's game plan is falling apart. Loving it. Gunn's got a 5.1 average rating already. Terrible. We've got another highlight here. It's a free kick. Alvarado's quite good from range, but it's an easy save. Gunn finally gets his hands on the ball without having to puck it out the back of the net. Chance here for Chelsea. They've just picked up a loose pass. Lautaro Martinez, but it's a great challenge. At least I thought it was. I think Lemur may have given away a penalty there. Bugger, he has done. Lautaro Martinez up against Bazunu. Can the ex-Man City keeper save it? No, he can't. He's pretty crap from spot kicks, to be honest. That's the 16th of the season for Martinez. And that's 2-1. Another highlight here. Chelsea picking up the corner. I don't want to be going level at half time. Come on, lads. Get a foot in. Oh, I don't believe that. That's offside, isn't it? Yes, thank God for that. We really are struggling with capitulating. Now, some people put that down to the age of a squad, which you could argue is not a bad argument. But for me, a lot of the time, you've got to look at your training as well. We've been focusing a lot on technical training and balance training, which is more kind of attacking based really than defensive. I haven't been using any of my defensive schedules. That is a ridiculous run. Any of my defensive schedules for quite some time now. So to be honest, the fact we're conceding so many goals shouldn't be that much of a surprise. Well, on to the 60th minute, guys. We need to start thinking about the next game. I'm going to have Stevens off and I'm going to bring on Belkayat. I'm also going to have, I think, Alvarado off for Argesea, and I'm going to have Lemaire off as well for a number of reasons. First of all, he's on a booking, and secondly, actually no, I'm not. I've changed my mind. I'm going to have Silveira off because I need him for the next game. We're just going to have to risk it with the two central midfielders and hope that he isn't too fatigued for the big game. Grasso's staying on despite being on a booking. The reason for that, again, like I said, he is banned for the next game, so there's no point in trying to rest him. Just a little bit worried about him getting sent off because he's an aggressive player, but hopefully that doesn't happen as Ramos goes all the way back to Gunn, who's on a 4.7 average rating now apparently, so he's having an absolute shocker. Lebris, the left back, gets dispossessed by Lemaire, who I was thinking of bringing off, and the Frenchman cannot finish. 8 minutes remaining, and while you'd probably think why you're not going more defensive, to be honest, I think we're better chasing the game than sitting back and bringing them on to us. Bentancur to Lebris. Every time Everton gets the ball down here, it makes me nervous. Oh no, Lautaro Martinez crosses. Fabre almost scores there, but we dealt with it in the end. Literally into injury time now, guys. 3 minutes left to see out a massive result and 3 points, which we've done. Thank God for that. 16 shots, 8 on target, 4 clear-cut chances. We should have had that game wrapped up long before we did. With the game in hand still, we are now 7 points clear of Tottenham. So win the other game in hand, and we should be 10 points clear at the top of the league. I'm going to tell the lads that's a bit of a let-off because in fairness, it most certainly was. And the reason I'm saying about us being so far ahead, been blasé about it, is because if you have a look at the end of season for us, yes, the next few games are reasonably okay, but we have Arsenal away, Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, Tottenham away, who are second or third, I don't know if they've fallen behind, Leicester away, we always struggle against Leicester, and West Ham at home, which we should be winning. So there's a massive set of fixtures here. I mean, Norwich as well away, that's a tough game because they have a good team. Anyway, I'm blabbering now. Let's get to the Champions League. First knockout round, second leg. And here we go, the Champions League second leg. So, Borussia Monchengladbach in the first leg played 4-4-2. They should be playing a 4-2-3-1 apparently in this leg. Feel much better about that. The 4-4-2 we definitely did struggle against. Felt like they overloaded us out wide, and that's where a lot of the problems came from. I'm going to go as strong as a lineup as I think I can afford to. Stevens and Munro up top, the two danger men. Silveira, who's been exceptional this season, in behind. He's only scored 4 and assisted 7 from 26 starts, but he's always been a consistent performer for us, never really let us down. Meyer, who I've not really shown you much of recently, he's got really good all-round ability, physically really good as well. Good in the tackle, decent at marking, so I think he's good for that central midfield on a support duty. Agasea, who does need to improve his dribbling and his creative ability, is really good in behind. He's very agile, great balance. Yusuga, likewise. This kid can create some magic with 13 goals and 13 assists this season. At the back, we've got a full-strength back line. Male's getting rested though. Instead, I'm going to bring in Zelenkov's in because he has been exceptional in the games he has played in. Other than that one game in the FA Cup where he let us down in behind against Bournemouth. But you've got to give him the odd off game. He's only 18 years old. Quite confident here. Bretas really made us pay in the last leg with his speed and dribbling ability. He scored 20 this season. I can see why. And Embolo is a cracking little player for them, along with Gnabry on the left-hand side. But we should be winning this. We're 4-3 up from the first leg. Come on, you SEADOGS. So first highlight goes to Scarborough, and it's Lemaire working the ball to Silva, who goes back to Lemaire. Agasea to Munro, and that is a corker of a finish. 1-0 up. Inside of 4 minutes, 16th goal of the season there for Munro, and Agasea repays the faith, starting ahead of arguably the better player. But yeah, great start to the game. Alvarado would generally start on that left side. He's just got more pace, speed, and just more flair about his game. Tends to score more, create more. But Agasea, he turns up in Europe. He did it in the Europa League last season, and he's certainly done it in the Champions League this season. And something we spoke about before the game started, Lucas Silveira turns up trumps there with his 5th goal of the season. Munro's having a cracking little game today. That's another assist for him. And Yusuga again getting the ball into the box. He is fantastic at creating opportunities. Highlight begins with Bazunu to Stoichkov to Zelenkov's. The 18-year-old passes back to our mainstay at centre-back. Lemur finds Yusuga, the main man on the wing, who cuts inside, and Decoy is labelled it for a reason. Those runs, pulling defenders away, it's happening again, but they just about survive that. Yusuga starts off yet another attack, May with a cracking little pass over the top, and Stevens, that was a cracking little finish there. So composed from Joey Stevens, who, since us talking about how poor he's been recently, turns up trumps in the League Cup final with a hat-trick. Same again against Chelsea, really great performance there, but this little piece of skill just to work his way onto his right foot, wrong-footed the goalkeeper. Well, we've reached half-time, 3-0 up. Going to tell the lads I appreciate that. We have been fantastic. I think this tells a story. Sturrico, 100% tackle ratio. That is fantastic. Highlight here for Borussia Monchengladbach. Ball's worked over to Gnabry, who's worked his way inside and dispatched the finish. 10th goal of the season for him. 3-1. Definitely no need to panic though. We've only got 20 minutes left. We're not going to have a collapse like in the Bournemouth game. So I'm going to make a couple of changes, I think. Let's have Stevens off, and I'm going to bring Belkayat on. Munro's probably going to get rested in the next game anyway, as is Silveira, I think. But I want to have Lemur off. He's played his part already. And we're also going to have a look at having Yusuga off as well, because I don't want him getting injured. And we can always stick Alvarado out on the right, despite it's not been his preferred side. Highlight begins with Pavlenka going long, intercepted very well by Alvarado off the bench to Munro, who rounds the keeper. Cheeky little goal, that one. Second of the game for Munro. That makes it 4-1 on the night, 8-4 on aggregate. What a game. Well, the clock's ticking down, and we have literally just seen out the last seconds. 4-1 on the night. 8-4 on aggregate. Fantastic result. 4 clear-cut chances. We dominated that game. Barcelona go through at the same time we do, so that's another tough team that's going to be in the next round. And I think in the FA Cup as well, it's a real tough draw for that as well. I think there's Tottenham, Liverpool, Manchester United are still in there, so lots of tough teams to come up against. In fact, let's have a quick look at the first knockouts. Who have we got then? United will most likely go through. It's up in the air between Chelsea and Atletico Madrid. Up in the air there. Real Madrid should be going through. PSG should be going through, as should Liverpool. So it's going to be a tough time no matter what. All the big teams are still in the competition. Let's just hope that we can make it through. Right, boys, that is going to be it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, as always. There's loads of guys going to be linked in the description so you guys can see what I get up to on the website, as well as the tactics that I use. I haven't reviewed Decoy just yet, the one that you've been watching today, but I will do eventually, hopefully. As for when we're going to come back, well, it's going to be a sticky end of the season. As you can see here, we've got some really tough games coming up. The Champions League quarter-final is going to be in April, as well as some massive title deciding games. So I'm going to skip past these games here for sure, and we might come back, I think, possibly for the Arsenal away game, followed up by the Champions League second leg and the Liverpool at home. That is going to be a massive title-defining 3 matches. Okay, chaps, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.